It's Yu-Gi-Oh time! Hello, welcome to another figure review. Today we're gonna have a look at the Revoltech Elemental Hero Neos. From YuGiOh GX, the boss monster of the protagonist, the main protagonist, Judai, also known as Jaden, which also had a Revoltech figure, which I didn't pick up because I thought it looked pretty weird, and I heard the figure isn't that great. But I'm a fan of the big, bulky Elemental Hero Neos. He has the Majin Buu antenna, but overall a very simplistic but yet kind of iconic look, and continues the tradition of every main character having a 7-star boss monster with exactly 2,500 attack. It's Yu-Gi-Oh, baby. Let's have a look at the figure. Size of Neos, I'm just probably gonna jump around between pronunciations during this video, stands at almost 20 centimeters to the top of his antenna, 18 to the top of the head, really. For your inches, that means we are going up to 7 inches for the top of the head and 7.9 for the top of the antenna. Size comparisons.
Here's Jalter, the SH Figure Arts Son Goku, Vulcanlock Yugi Muto, Vulcanlock Dark Magician, the SH Monster Arts Blue Eyes White Dragon, Neo Spacian Grandmol from like a random blind box, Figma Seto Kaiba, Revoltech Yusei Fudo, Figma Yami Yugi, Figma Guyver, looks the same, and Darkseid.
Overall, look in detail. This guy is weird. So, I love the size, first and foremost. I didn't really expect that. He's big, he's bulky, and as you can tell, he's super duper shiny. It's all made in like a shiny metallic paint shop. You can see the sparkles. And you can see just the light radiating off of his entire skin. So that's something I like, even though, like, well, he's just supposed to be white, but it looks a lot flashier for a figure. And considering that there's not really that much paint on the figure, well, there's not much detail on the rest. Everything on here is painted from what I can tell, except for, I think, the hands and the feet, and that's fine. But, so, engineering-wise, this figure is a mess. Look at all the joints and really clashing, especially, but let me start off with the head. First and foremost, head sculpt looks nice. It has this weird kind of goose neck, but that's kind of how the figure is. He has like really a super duper thick neck. It's cut up because of the articulation point, so it doesn't translate as well as it does on the card. What I don't get is, why is the swivel part over here? That drives me insane. Like, we'll get to the articulation in a second, and it's like a fever dream, and I don't know what they were thinking. So then we have the big shoulder pads with the blue and red line work on there. It looks super duper clean. I don't really have any issues with any bleeding, any lines that go out of place. Have a blue gem in the chest and another one also in the back. And we do have these little wings over here, which can also be just swiveled around. And I don't even know what that's for. That's, you know, kind of excessive, but sure, why not? Anyway, we do have the big spikes on the side and the line work, the red line work that goes down to this, whatever the hell this is. Look at all these different layers, and that brings me to the cake. The Neos cake man is not happy with this one. The cake is like, it's cut up into 3 pieces. It's a 3-piece cake, and I like that. It doesn't look clean. So, yeah, moving down to the big fat thighs, muscular as all hell, and down to the shoes. I mean, overall, I like the look, but damn. It's like, yeah, okay, it's super duper articulated, but everything that's all the somewhat unnecessary cut-ups in the mold are really somewhat annoying. But let's see if all this articulation stuff is actually good. The first thing that needs to be said is, I wish the joints were tighter. It's a floppy mess in a lot of areas, like especially for the chest, also elbow. It does hold the pose, but once again, it's just like, it's way too easy to flop it around, as you can tell. Like, just like one finger. I'm just trying to demonstrate because obviously it's hard to say like, oh well, it's floppy, but then you don't really notice that until you have it in your hands. Same for the knees. Like, it's, I don't know. I had some trouble putting into some cool poses because I feel like just stuff is collapsing. Also with the feet, you know. I've tried. Let's see. Like, I have them on there. Feet are flat and whatnot, but there's like a. I'm just trying around, showing you the weird gooseneck, and then he falls over again. So, we do have a base fortunately, but let's get into it. So first and foremost, you have the head articulation, goes back and forth, does tilt side to side, and does also swivel all the way around. I feel like the part in the middle is just like a floaty piece, and I don't know. We do have this tiny ball hinge with a tiny peg on there. It works, but it's weird. It's weird. Why is the head not on like another ball or something? And then we have the neck articulation, can bring that back and forth. Does also tilt side to side, and you can really wiggle it all the way around. So that's really cool. Then we have the shoulder pieces, which are on ball hinges. Once again, those are easy to move out of the way and swivel it around and just put it back into place. And for the shoulder itself, we have the same thing which we had with Yusei, and it's one of the weirdest things, and I hope I never see it again. We have a swivel. We have not a butterfly joint, but a swivel on where you connect the shoulder. So as such, you can move that forward. It's kind of weird to move it around. Also, you have to hold on to the bicep and have to force it somewhat. But yeah, that's there. We do have a ball hinge in his elbow, a bicep swivel, and then you have two ball hinges in the elbow. So you can bring that up like that, and also can be swiveled. No problem there. I love that you have like the elbow cap kind of on it over that. Makes it look fairly clean. And then we have the fist just on a hinge, standard stuff, and you can also swivel it around. Then for your chest area, can be swiveled all the way around on the top part. Has some back and forth. If you really give it a good push, it disconnects. Never mind. But yeah, that's mostly what you get out of that. And then we have the lower half. Can bring that back and forth. That's quite nimble. And also side to side. Swiveling makes an ugly noise, but hey, at least it holds the pose. It's a lot tighter than other joints, which I wish we had more of. Then we have the leg. Let me try and move that one up. All the weird joints move with it. It goes forward. Not really that much. Well, actually, if you move it out, it goes all the way to the back. That's why they cut up the cake. I'm not a fan of that. Also, the cake is soft plastic, and it gets out of the way. So, also moves out, and you have a swivel. And this is like a really deep swivel. And I like the fact that you cover it up over here, and you have like a flap. And this swivel almost goes all the way. I think it might go all the way, but I don't want to break anything. I don't want to overforce it. And we have the knee joint, double hinge once again. Let me move this up a little bit. So, look-wise, it's fine. It's still kind of weird. You have like, the ball hinge is still like the skin color, and you have the cap over it. Huh, weird. I don't know. And you can also, I guess, can you swivel that? I mean, if you have it open a little bit, you can swivel it, and I think also lower half. Depends on how you align the knee. And then finally you have, the foot is on another ball hinge. You can bring that back and forth. Side to side tilting. And you also got a toe hinge. For your accessories, very basic, but also I didn't really expect anything else. You know, it's Neos. You don't have energy effects, but you do have open hands for some posing, like open hands which are somewhat different. Huh. I can barely tell actually. And then we have chop hands. And then you have a base, which you have your arm, which you can just put in the back of the figure, or if you don't like that, you also have this clamp. Put that on there if it's the right size. Anyway, there you go. You got that. And you can put it in the base. And you also have instructions. I don't have anything else to show. I'm just going to show you that E-Hero. Elemental Hero, but yeah. There you go. That's how you do it. Final thoughts! And what a weird figure this is. So, on one hand, I like the look. Even though I think some of the articulation points just kind of ruin the sculpt. Then, I love the paint job. I love that he's so super shiny and metallic, you know, really exaggerated. It pops, it looks good. Articulation-wise, again, wonky. I don't think it's bad, but also some parts really don't really do what they're supposed to. I love the shoulder pads. You know, no matter what pose I put them in, the shoulder pads just kind of seem to fall into place every time to cover up some of the weirdness, and that's really cool. But as far as the joints go, they should be a lot tighter. That's really something that takes some of the fun trying to pose them. I mean, with the base, it makes it a lot easier, but I have a hard time having him stand up on his own because of the wobbly knee and elbow joints and some other parts. And then finally, the accessories are really basic, but once again, it's Neos. He has a good size. You get a lot more out of the figure, I feel like. Final thoughts? It's good. I kind of like want to see, since Figure Arts are also doing some monster characters from Yu-Gi-Oh! I want to see a Figure Arts one, and I think that one would blow this one out of the water. But who knows? Anyway, as it is right now, this is a decent Neos figure. That's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever Elemental Hero Neos wants.